Well, hello. It's been a week or two since I done my last devlog, so I figured I'd go ahead and do another one of those. I have been planning on working on my story engine for the foreseeable future. I got a little sidetracked, and so that's what I've been working on mainly for the last week or two. So hopefully, I'm not disappointing too many folks by switching projects a little bit. I do plan on continuing with the story engine. I've been thinking about that thing for kind of years at this point, and so I that is the thing that I want to have completed by the end of this year. But on the way to the story engine, I got sidetracked. There's really no other way of putting it, I suppose, by another genre of game, and that's tower defense. I what it did it was this little game by the name of Rogue Tower. I've sunk some time into this. I probably have 20 or 30 hours into this game at this point. It's just a lot of fun. I really have been enjoying it. So much so that I, of course, have to say, well, hey, I think I could do this, or at least I'm interested in giving it a shot. I've been thinking about, doing a tower defense as kind of a simple little game to kind of get something out the door. And the neat thing about this particular game in this genre is it's so simple in lots of different ways. And I think that's really what kind of inspired me to, kind of want to tackle a tower defense, just because it's, I've seen this guy do it, and he did it really well and really elegantly. And I really enjoy the concept of an endless tower defense. That's that also has some kind of roguelike sort of aspects to it, and so I want to. Yeah, I've been inspired. I kind of want to take it on myself. So to that end, here is what I've been working on. Actually, before we show what this, let's show where it started from. So last week, this is kind of where we started from, like a week or two ago. Um, this is just sort of the basics up and running, right? So this was, oh, actually, I have the date on the screen there. So this is February 8th. And as I record this is February 12th. So, 4 days ago. Um, I think I've been working on it a couple of 2 or 3 days before this. But anyway, this is, just showing the basic, terrain generation, kind of random terrain generation, and, little dudes moving on the screen. And I got camera controls working and all that sort of stuff. And obviously, and the neat thing here is the generated terrain, which that's a really neat feature. I really like that. I'm gonna uh, incorporate that. And so anyway, you can just see that's sort of the basic little placeholder art for everything in there. So that's kind of cool. And then the big thing, hold your socks. Hold on to your socks. Yeah, that's it. Hold on to your socks. Voxels. Yes, I decided that I really the Rogue Tower game has a voxel art style as well, and I enjoy it. But I think they missed a trick. I think the guy's name is A.R. Martin, if I'm not mistaken. Missed a trick. I really think that if you're gonna do voxels, you have to have voxel explosions, right? I mean, that's just like, how could you not? And so that I spent looks like a day getting a voxel explosion. So I'm importing my voxels from. Let me show you the. Well, here, before we do that, let me show you like them working in game. So you can see that I have the voxels up and running inside the little game engine. I've simplified the terrain generation a bit at this point. The terrain generation was is going to be a thing that I'm just sort of endlessly working on to some degree, I think. But you can see they're kind of exploding in game here as I shoot them with my little fake towers here, and kind of fall apart nicely in the little voxels. So I'm kind of quite pleased with that, actually. been enjoying that. So let me show you Magical Voxel. If you've never seen that, that's where I'm getting all my voxels from. So let me see if I can. There we go. So this is essentially just a little, voxel rendering engine, or not rendering engine, editor. You can edit them however you want. You can paint them if you want. And I'm very much just kind of a voxel art newbie, so I'm really not sure what I'm doing here. Here, let me grab a glass of tea here. Earl Grey with a touch of heavy cream. Good stuff. So anyway, that's where I'm getting my models from. I had to, I guess you would call it, expand upon a voxel parser that I found online. I developed it probably about 2 years ago, but they kind of abandoned it. So where the power of open source comes in, so I was able to swoop in and kind of make it work with the latest version of Magic of Voxel and improve on it just a tad. So that's a thing I did as well. So anyway, let's get back to where we are today, which is here. Turn off the other thing. And I'm pretty happy with this. You can see that I have, the camera controls. I'm going with a, it's not quite, is it not isometric perspective? Whatever, it's tilted 45 degrees. It's not orthographic though. It's a normal perspective, 3D perspective. So I don't know if I'm going to go orthographic or not. I don't really see it'll just where the art style kind of demands, I suppose. You can see the little voxel dudes in here, and I can place a tower, and little voxel dudes will hopefully explode on cue here. I have health bars working, and so they take damage over time and stuff like that. Currently the voxels don't, the models don't animate, and they're kind of, I'm not sure if you could tell this, but they're upside down and backwards. So, they're rotated wrong and all that sort of stuff. That's, fairly easy stuff to fix. Easy as it'll take 2 days of my life to figure out why it doesn't work. But once I figure it out, it'll all be awesome, kind of easy. So we can expand on the terrain. So I can click on an edge here. Oh, this is kind of neat. You get a little window, and you can drag a little window around. And the neat thing here is that obviously the graphics in the background I'm doing through it's WebGL, but via Babylon.js. I'm using Babylon.js as the rendering engine, and but I really like React for doing UI development. So you'll notice this is a React window, and the neat thing is that I can click here, right? A little React window pops up here, and I can click here. A little React window pops up here, so it's kind of neat that I got that all working. So I sort of blended the two worlds of the 3D and the 2D together. So I'm kind of happy about that. Anyway, so I can expand, and I can expand my terrain in any direction. So my thoughts here presently, that's all subject to change here, is that much like the Rogue Tower, the player, I guess, would, choose a direction to expand their little system in. Whoops. That didn't quite expand the way I expected. Bugs here and there. Anyway, and then they kind of build out their little road. So you can see if you play Road Tower at all, this should look very, very similar, right? I might keep that first I really enjoyed the first iteration I had of the terrain generation, where it was more random as far as like the tiles that are missing or actually filled in or not. So that's, who knows what these are actually going to look like. The pathing is correct on each tile, and in that, it kind of goes from, a particular point on the edge to another point on the edge, or 3 of them meet up or what have you. So that all works correctly, but they're not joined together in any any way that makes sense. And obviously I don't have pathing done for the or I have very simple, let's say, pathing done for the little enemies here going towards the tower. So but the plan there is that I don't think I'm going to put them on, rails exactly. I think I'm going to I'm really kind of liking the idea of a tower that like pushes the enemy in a certain direction, and it kind of maybe bounces off walls and stuff like that. It's a little bit more physicsy, I suppose, on how the enemies work. I might do that, I might not, I don't know, but I'm kind of thinking I'll do that. So anyway, that's kind of a thought there. But as you say, it's just sort of a basic sort of, that you couldn't even really call it a tower defense at this point. It's just not even really a game. You can place towers, and you have a keep that will never ever die. But you kind of see the basics are here. And the graphics perform pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the graphics. I think I can put a couple more spawners here, and they'll kind of spawn some more dudes here, and kind of get a sense that, yeah, it all kind of works. You're probably not going to hear the sound, or if you can, it's going to be over my microphone, because OBS doesn't like to record, you have to install another program. Anyway, it's a pain in the rear to get sound to come through on OBS if you're on a Mac. I think on Windows it's easier, oddly. So anyway, that's what I've been up to, and been having some fun with. Let's see, how long is the recording here? About 11 minutes. You know what? Let's dive into the code just a little bit to kind of show you some of the code side for those that are interested. But those that aren't, this is this is your moment to jump off here. I'm going to go into the code. Just kind of show that off a little bit. Let's see. Oh, that's Magic of Voxel. That's not the code. And that's not the code either. Maybe I won't be showing you the code if doesn't want to. Oh, I'm going the wrong thing. Huh, weird. All right, well, I guess no code today. Or else I'd have to pause the video, so I'm not going to do that. So no, none of that. We'll just in fact, I can't even get the browser window to show anymore. Oh, I know what the problem is. Yeah, I clicked the wrong button on OBS. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we are going to have code. All right. I have, let's see here. Magical voxel. All right. So just real quick, go into how I'm doing my my code stuff. A little bit more tea, I think. You gotta have tea. It's in the evening time for me as I record this. It's about, getting close to 8 o'clock night. I've had a full day of coding. I probably sound a bit tired. I am a bit tired, I think. Need to wind down the day here a little. It's been a good day, though. I hope you've been having a good day as well. All right. So I'm doing an ECS system. I started off not really wanting to do an ECS system, but I think ECS systems are actually just simpler. So I started from no ECS, and I put in a kind of a simplistic ECS system. So I'm assuming that you know what an ECS system is if you're watching this. If not, Google's your friend. Let's see. So you can here. I'll just show you the types here for my my thing. So a game system is a thing that takes a world and a tick, and it has a name. So if you're not familiar with this, this is a TypeScript little trick that I recently kind of bumped into. Is that if you have all functions have inherent names, which are either the name of the function, like you can name the function, or if you do it via the arrow operation thing, it'll be name of the constant that you push the the function into. So anyway, this is a neat trick to get that name in a type safe kind of way. Anyway, so you have a game world and a tick. Tick is just, what you think of as a game tick, with the delta and all that sort of stuff. The game world. So my game world, this is just where all my, kind of the level information exists. The seed, the tick, and which wave we're on, and some other miscellaneous junk like the scene. So this is the Babylon scene. Then I have sound. I can't remember the name of the library I'm using for sound. It's one of the big ones though. It sounds pretty good. Stats, so this is just random stats. World map. Not sure I'm using that anymore, to be perfectly frank. That might need to go. Game settings. So these are just kind of, random settings I might want in the game. What was the last one? Okay. Animations. So I'm doing my own little animation system, very simple animation system. Or actually animations here. Boy, I am getting tired. It is kind of late in the evening. I am doing my own animation system, but these animations are more the animate frame, render frame sort of thing. The thing you call into the browser every, it gives you a thing to render every 60 seconds. That's what that is. It's my little wrapper around that. So I have one of those for rendering, one of those for UI stuff, and then one for processing, all the game logic sort of stuff. So I can make those run at different rates if I want to. So process world, I'll just show you a little bit of the loop here for how I'm doing my ECS thing. So I have my game world, it has all my entities, and process time, stopwatch system, or all my systems rather, that, I call every tick essentially. Game system. I can show you the systems. All right, so here's a list of all my systems that I have currently. So I can spawn enemies and move them around, and then, like I said, I have an animation system, detect whether things are in range, whether things need to go away. My little health bar, so there's my health bar system, right? And then disposal system. So disposing of stuff is real important when you're dealing with 3D sort of stuff, because things like textures and materials and meshes and stuff like that just don't go away on their own. You have to get rid of them at the correct point in time. So it's kind of annoying in a way because if you're like me and you're kind of a Java and JavaScript and TypeScript sort of dude, and you just really love not having to work with the accounting aspects of programming. It's kind of a pain to have to do that, but it's what you got to do. It's what you got to do if you want things to perform well. Game events. So I have this is a thing I just kind of started today. So I'm in addition to an ECS system. I'm also doing an event system. More or less just to make it easier to communicate back and forth between the DOM manipulation stuff, the React stuff, and the Babylon JS rendering world kind of stuff, right? In the game loop world. So just because those things are kind of not necessarily in sync with each other, and they're all, obviously it's very, when you're dealing with 3JS, or not 3JS, Babylon JS, and that world, and having to render something every 60 seconds versus React, and essentially rendering every time the DOM changes, sort of thing. There obviously there's a lot of disharmony between those two. So I think an event system is the way to go to bridge that gap. That's what I'm trying at the moment anyway, and so far so good. And anyway, I think that's basically it. That's kind of where we're at. I'll end up here on just kind of talking on the quote here. Almost everything comes from nothing. I like that quote. Almost everything. Where did it all start from, though? You know, these deep philosophical questions. Anyway, if you've spent the last 15 minutes or 20 minutes, according to OBS here, with me, I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time and attention. We'll see how far I can push this one. So far, this has really been a fun little quote unquote side project, and I've been enjoying it, working on it every day. So it's one of those things where if you're doing something and it feels good and it keeps feeling good, and even the challenges are kind of invigorating, they're not kind of like bummers. I think you continue along that path, and so far I'm having success, and each day it gets a little better. So we'll see how far we go. Anyway, that's it for today, and maybe we'll see, or see is not quite the right word, but anyway, maybe I'll be making another one of these in a week or two. We'll find out. Anyway, hope you're having a good one. Talk to you later. Like I'm hanging up a phone. Anyway, catch you later. Bye.